Gabriel and Madame Lavigne went to check the nanny. I'd hate to demand satisfaction, but perhaps you're here to make amends. Gabriel said she just said nannies are a dime a dozen, and Gabriel can keep her for all she care. She was saying it was Gabriel's fault entering her city. The Levigans left, and Gabriel kinda sermoned Mikey about making assumptions. But Mikey said he even liked Louis better now, and I get one too. I was hired to protect Mikey, so should refrain from introducing him to more mobsters. I panicked. I should have done it back. Davina, sir, I'm teasing you. What? Good job catching that other nanny. She just wasn't on your level, was she? Damn. If that's all, I'll take Mikey down to supper. But he said he'll come with me. I want to hear all about Mikey's afternoon. He added, at the dining hall, it was awkward. We haven't eaten together since. The waiter showed Mikey the children's menu, but she exclaimed, he'll have the filet mignon again? I said he didn't finish that steak yesterday or the day before. Sure you don't want to try the macaroni? But Gabriel interrupted, we'll split the filet. Please add a side of lyonnaise potatoes. I ordered coq au vin and the macaroni. Mikey glared at me, but I said it was for me. Mikey doesn't seem troubled by what happened this afternoon. I can't stop thinking about it. Nothing in this city is simple, even a play date. Anyone here could be an enemy. Gabriel doesn't seem concerned. But then, I can never guess what he's thinking. About the fire, he wants to talk about that here? You said you were pulled from a burning house once. When did it happen? He asked. He means that fire. I knew I shouldn't have mentioned it. I thought he'd forgotten. Instead, he waited until this moment to ask me about it, knowing I can't deflect in front of Mikey. Your house burned down, too? Mikey asked. I was older than you, but yes, there was a fire at my home. Luckily, I had a nanny who got me out safely. I replied. Mikey stopped drawing and said, just like you saved me. I felt upset when he asked if I lost everything too. Yes, I lost everything. After dinner, I put Mikey to bed. He held the duck Louis gave him. As leave, he asked if Louis is really his friend. Oh, that's up to you and him. Your parents may be at odds, but that doesn't have to affect how you feel about one another. But family comes first. I told him to calm him down, Not as unaffected as I thought. I went to the kitchen and speak to Gabriel. My first night in the garden. You never told me what your dream is for your son. He just replied that he think I can guess, but I don't want to make assumptions. He leaned close to me and whispered, I'll tell and you, and only you. I want my son to be free. I want Mikey to have a real life. I don't want him to grow up with no choices, no other opportunities like he did. He was afraid that Mikey will follow his footsteps to be a mafia boss. I replied that he can't, and that is why I am here. He won't send him away. But he need my help to distance Mikey from certain influences he have. Certain influences, including you? Can you do that for me, Davina? Can you show Mikey another path? He desperately uttered. I was drawing with Mikey when I asked what would he be if he could be anything. I told him he could be an astronaut or a deep-sea diver, but he said it was a dumb question since I already know what will he become, a mafia boss. I tried to make him think of other career, but he said he know what I am trying to do, and he said he don't want a new mama. I was confused and asked what does he mean by that. He answered his mama always say things like that. That he needed other interest, that he didn't have to be a mafioso. And now she's gone, and so I should not talk like that. Does he realize what he's implying? He's hinted before that his father's own men might have been involved in his mother's disappearance. Mikey always stresses family loyalty, but what if that's only his fear talking? Deep down, does he believe it was because of him? I tried to explain Mikey that it's not his fault, and it shouldn't have affected his future, but he yelled. One day, Papa will be the Don, and I'll be the best underboss and keep everyone in the family safe. Meanwhile, Val is still suspicious about me and confronted Gabriel about it. They said my background is paper thin, and they cannot find information about me. Val wanted to imply that I could have been a suspect from the fire recently, but Gabriel said it's not me and explained to her that he chooses me personally. Gabriel did a background check on me when he was applying with Enna. Gabriel know that I have no family to ask questions to miss me if I die or I disappear. But Val is still suspicious. She thought there is more to my story. She picks up her phone and called the wizard. Check the playlist for the next episode of the Mafia Nanny. Gabriel and Adam went to a shop. Welcome to Trinity Candles, where energy meets spirituality. Today, we have a special on purification and healing, said the man as Gabriel entered the building. But when he saw Gabriel, he led him to a different room, and Gabriel persuaded him to betray the old lady he walks with. It turns out it was Madame Lavigne. Meanwhile, I was watching Mikey drawing while I piggyback on the security footage of the hotel. And suddenly I saw Senora sneaking when Gabriel's car arrived. Suddenly Mikey bugs me about his plans on painting my room. Well, he noticed I wasn't paying attention to him and he asked, what am I working on that's more important than him? And then he quickly looked at my laptop, so I quickly switched to writing a diary. Dear diary, today Mikey painted a beautiful watercolor of the afternoon sky. I didn't finish my sentence when he yelled it's acrylic. I just continued to tease him. Mikey says it was acrylic, but I don't believe him because the colors look a little bit blurry. I suspect he is embarrassed to be so good at watercolor because people who didn't know better might assume he cried on his paintings. And then he gone crazy and left me alone. And then I continue hacking the security footage. Senora Cone is no doubt spying on Gabriel, but who is she reporting to? Lander, I talked to Gabriel. I'm sorry to tell you that one of the staff is reporting on you. I correlated their mobile phone records to your comings and goings. The receiving number is always the same, with a Venice area code. Gabriel answered, it's Senora Cone, isn't it? I was a bit shocked to know he know, but he said she reports to her uncle. But why? Why hasn't he fired her? Gabriel answered, the Don feels more comfortable when he has someone in his household. And Cone's also a good housekeeper. She makes a mean mocha. Right after our conversation, when he was about to go, he called me and said he needs an escort, to an auction at the House of Light. Val usually does this sort of thing, but she's out of town. Gabriel said, I was hesitant since I need to watch Mikey, but he answered Adam and Nika can handle it, and they will have a boys' night. He leaned and begged me to come. I have no choice but to said yes, and then he turned and said, I need to be ready at 8, and he will take care of the dress. Gabriel took me to an auction full of mafias as an escort. Suddenly his cousin Cassil arrive and the tension between the two begins. Others will notice soon, and there, Madame Bratva coming over. I hinted the two so they will be aware. She talked to Gabriel. He knows Gabriel is mourning about his wife's disappearance, and she ends up saying she has two granddaughters with better busts. Gabriel was stunned with what the Bratva told him. Granny is doing rounds tonight, I guess. The Bratva took money meant for legitimate purposes like taxes and disappeared into criminal undergrounds. Corruption at the highest level. I never thought I'd see such things in person. After Madame left, the two continued arguing and I hinted them again someone is coming. His name is ZTU and took Gabriel for a moment. And I am left with Cassiel. He tried to talk to me as his usual Casanova when I saw someone I didn't know. Who's that? I asked him. The Galician is up and coming, but this guy hasn't carved out his territory in Lylon yet. They say he'll deal with anything, drugs, skins, industries, the established families turn their noses at. The new guy must have noticed us and he is coming to our way. But Cassiel stormed out in a flash. I am Brexo, he said. I am Davina. He asked if I came with the Angelini underboss. I said yes, but he added he was not invited. Everyone knows he is here to push Madame Lavigne. He told me he came to us because everyone wants to know something. If who do I work for? I answered, I work for Mr. Angelini. He interrupted, no, I mean, which contractor? Excuse me. He doubts I'm just an escort. He is suspicious of me as a security service of Gabriel. I saw you clocked the cameras, armed the guards. Now even you've got an eye of your charge. He said, and added, I am well trained. I don't know any security services that looks like you. I was about to answer when Gabriel suddenly came in. He then asked Gabriel, tell me honestly, is she your new consort? She's his nanny, Madame Lavigne answered, and the questioner Gabriel as to what are we doing at her event. The tension between the two started, but Gabriel calmly handled the situation. He wants a truce between the two families for the sake of their kids Mikey and Louie. We excused ourselves to get some air. I asked Gabriel what happened to Cassiel. He said he tucked tail as soon as Brexo arrived. He also complimented me on handling the situation alone. There are some strong personalities in this party. All those wealths, all those people, it reminds me of my childhood. Gabriel and I are talking at the terrace when we hear sirens. It's a police sirens and they are heading this way. Everyone panicked on how they can exit the building. There is a staff exit to an underground parking lot. I said to Gabriel, I pulled the blueprint of this building before we came here. Stay close behind me, Gabriel replied. As we are on our way to exit, Madame Lavigne rushed to us angrily. You've gone too far, she said. This wasn't me, he replied. Madame didn't buy it as we are the only one uninvited to this party. I break in the two and said we need to settle this later and we have to go. And Madame made a threat to the Angelinis. We made our way out on foot so it's harder to track. I was looking out for any police while we are on the alley and I was shocked when Gabriel handed me his coat. You're too conspicuous in that dress. Should I remind him that he brought me this dress in the first place? Meanwhile, Val, who is still suspicious of me, went to Verona. Valentine, what a pleasant surprise. A mid-aged woman appeared. Pardon the intrusion, Val responded. The lady asked if she was sent by her brother-in-law who is the Don. Val handed a picture of me to the lady. I'm looking for a woman who disappeared 8 years ago. She would have been 12 or 13 at the time, and I have reason to suspect she ran in our circles. At 13, from one of the families, then? Val isn't sure, but she said I was familiar and seeks out the lady's help as she knows everyone. The lady looked closely at my picture. What is it? Val asked the lady, but the lady just said nothing. My son's business affairs no longer interest me. Their conversation ended when Gabriel called Val and asked her to go back to Lylon ASAP, as the French mob has declared war on the Venetian Mafia. Val was confused on what's happening since she's only gone for 2 days. Val was back in Lylon. She asked what happened and Nika briefed her that Lavigne hid all business under Angelini's. Mikey is upset to know that Louis' mama has broken the truce and asked if they did something wrong. I took a glance at Gabriel, whom I suspected know what happened. I calmed Mikey down and said it's just a misunderstanding and they should work it out, and then I took Mikey to a park. Nika is eager for revenge and Gabriel agreed on it. The Don will send reinforcement to move by the end of the week. Val suggested to get Mikey out to Venice, but Gabriel disagreed. Few days later, I was drawing with Mikey when he said, something big is about to happen, as there are too many relatives in town. I told him maybe there is a surprise party, but he said it's grown-ups only, which mean business, and he don't think it worked out well with Louis' mama. He wanted to talk to his papa, but I told him he will be home for dinner. At dinner, Mikey is about to ask his papa, but Gabriel interrupted him of saying he arranged a trip for us two. I asked for how long and he said for 2 days. Mikey yelled and said he knew something is going on. And angrily he said he won't let his papa send him away. And he said he would help since one day he will have to take over the Mafia. But Mikey flinched when Gabriel said he hoped that day never comes. And he told him he will go on to a trip either he likes it or not. Clearly, this man is trying to make my job harder. I excused myself to speak to Mikey, but he grabbed me and said to get ready to leave for the safe house by morning and distance Mikey away from his world. I'll do my best, but at the end of the day, not only Mikey can change his own mind. Mikey won't talk to me, even if I told him we are both on his side. I decided come back and check on him in a few minutes, and so I can start packing. As I packed Mikey's stuff, Val came in. Is he making a mistake sending Mikey with you? She said. Excuse me? Val still believed him not who I said I am, and I am hiding something, and that I have an ulterior motives on taking this assignment, and warned me on not hurting them. I wouldn't let anything harm Mikey, including myself, and I have proved my loyalty to my charge for dodging a bullet for Mikey. Val then asked me if she can count on me, and I said I'll take over my Angelini and she can worry about her charge, as not everyone at his back is as reliable as her and Nika. Val is so calm for someone walking into a gang war. I hope they know what they're doing. It's not my place to protect him, but I have helped Gabriel with the hacking skills I have, so they will know when the other party will enter the hotel. He asked how's Mikey, but I said he's not speaking to me. I told him we will come back after 2 days, but only if he will give me an all-clear call. What if I don't hear from him then? What happens if I die, you mean? Gabriel replied. I asked if he have somewhere where I can take Mikey, some other relatives he can trust, but he directly answered no. If I don't contact you in 2 days, run as fast and as far as you can, he added. Does he want me to keep Mikey? He said he paid for a year of care and protection. Mikey stays with me until my contract is up. After that, where he goes is my choice. Don't make me beg Davina. He doesn't know what he's asking. I yelled no. I told him if he's doing this, he should not fail, and we will be waiting when it's done. Gabriel suddenly grabbed my hand and kissed farewell. The dawn has came, Mikey is sleeping, and I sneak out to his room. He was shocked, so I cover his mouth and told him to keep quiet. What's happening? Another fire, he asked. We're leaving, put these on quickly. Mikey is hesitant since it's in the middle of the night. Exactly, I'm getting him out unseen so no one can follow. He still stand to not going with me, so I explained everything to him. Your father has invited an attack on this hotel. A gunfight, where a little angel with very good intentions could get caught in the crossfire. If you think I'd let you stay, no matter what your father says, then you haven't learned anything about me at all. Hate me, if you must, but you will come quietly, or I'll put you to sleep until we arrive at the safe house. Which will it be? Mikey calmed down and told me I am as scary as his papa. Of course I am. I am his mafia nanny. We took the stairs down and Gabriel sneaked on us going out. Later that day, they take a look at the security footage's access I gave Gabriel and saw someone suspicious. A man leaving a case on the corner of the restaurant. The explosives are set to explode at 6 p.m. That's when we usually eat dinner with Mikey. Gabriel burst out in anger after knowing it. Nika suggested they still have time to took it somewhere, but Gabriel said to it go off. He added to inform the hotel manager and discreetly keep everyone out of the way. Adam mentioned the mob will get suspicious when the dining room will be empty. But Gabriel wanted the mob to think they have an advantage, so Madame Lavigne will rush to the hotel and finish them off. Gabriel smirked and said, that's when we take them down, and told his man to gather and prepare for the mob. Meanwhile, I rented a bike and took Mikey to the safe house with it. He keeps yelling behind and asked why we didn't go by car. We can't get to Visible. Everyone knows what his father's car looked like. And now he is pissed wearing a shirt and not his suit. Consider it as a disguise. No one would guess that he is an Angelini is this outfit. I encourage him and let him think of it as a lovely day for a bike ride and we could go bird watching. But Mikey stopped and upset, saying how can he think of bird watching when his father is fighting for his life? Back in the hotel, Cassil came to help with the French mob. He suggested it's best to keep Mikey away, but Gabriel said he is already with me, and so they should focus on the fight they are about to face.